Hey y'all, thanks for another Ask Me Anything question for the Full Funnel Consulting Group this week. Question is, how do I know if my demand generation channels are producing? Big question, could come at it a couple different ways, but the short answer is your demand generation channels are producing if they're producing initial discovery calls at a financially sustainable rate. Now, how do you get to your financial sustainability rate, and how do you understand your sales economic units in order to set those target costs is a question for another week, but if you want to know, just ask us. We're happy to cover it. I'm going to stick with demand generation for this week, though. And under the customer acquisition umbrella, you have three different segments here. You have demand generation, which is getting the horse to water and booking initial discovery calls. You have pipeline management, which is getting the horse to drink and closing those discovery calls into closed contracts. And then you have customer success, which is getting the horse to continue to drink and be happy. Demand generation is often where most companies struggle to produce new business. That idea, if I only had more companies interested, I know I could close them, is a common thread that we hear across many of our clients. And one of the challenges that we get into with our clients and really with any companies we talk to when we talk about creating financially sustainable demand generation is making sure that we have targets set. People, especially newer business owners or people that are new to applying rigid math and structure to the sales and marketing programs, get into this demand generation trap where instead of trying to set targets and achieve those targets, they continue to reach for this incremental diminishing returns gain on demand generation cost. And the way I like to frame it is that imagine you had a investment manager. You gave them $10,000, and the very next month they came back with $30,000. Pretty good investment manager. But your first question to that investment manager is not going to be, why isn't it $31,000 or $32,000? Your two questions are going to be, how sustainable is that return? And how much money can I give you? And that's the way I'd recommend viewing any of your demand generation channels. If you're producing in the green zone and you're happy to spend $500 per discovery call booked, for example, and you have a channel that's producing them at $400, your first question shouldn't be, how can I get that to 390? How can I get that to 380? Your question should be, how reliable is that $400 discovery call? And how much money can I put into this channel before I start to see some of the channel pressure or market pressure pushing that cost per discovery call up? Because chances are you're investing in other in other demand channels that are not as financially productive as that one channel. So don't fall into the trap of trying to consistently drive your costs down if you're already in the green zone and you're already wasting money in other demand channels that are either not trackable or not producing at the sustainable rate. So short answer, demand generation is channelable. Demand gen channels are producing if you're able to produce demand at a financially sustainable rate. If you're at that financial sustainable rate and you're not producing enough meetings, then simply increase your expenditure inside of that channel and you'll be at your correct meetings. Thanks all. Feel free to leave questions down below.